I am as prepared as I'm going to be.
Yep. I got an affirmative from everybody. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
My affirmation has been granted.
You're listening to Reignite, a podcast where we just threw the whole concept out the window. I'm MJ.
And I am Matt, aka Stormageddon.
Today, we are going to be doing something different. We've been talking about this for like 2 years now. We're finally going to do a Mass Effect-themed one-shot written by our good friend Josh Coslar.
Yes, I'm very excited about this because this one gets to be Blasto. It'll be fun.
I get to be a very underappreciated assassin with a complex backstory that we will never get to talk about.
Josh, do you want to introduce the campaign a little bit? Talk what we're doing here today.
So this is my idea of the Blasto Holiday Special. There's a lot of jokes about it being for a localized holiday because it's a galactic production. It could be for any planet. And we were just trying to have a loose, fun time with the 5e Mass Effect rules because they're so interestingly done. That crew built this for nothing, and it's such a good system. Definitely check it out.
Awesome. Now let's go around and introduce ourselves and our characters. I'll start us off. I am Matt, aka Stormageddon, as I said at the top of the show, and this one is playing Blasto, our hero.
You know me as MJ, and I'm playing Lutana Rix, a Turian Vanguard shock trooper subclass. I am a criminal assassin, and I like stabbing things with my Omni tool.
My name is John Lestrange. I will be playing
Burlock Palak, a Krogan Sentinel subclass Guardian who was a medic. Yeah, go figure. I break things and I put them back together.
Well, I'm Case Aiken, and I'm playing
Bogan Jath, a Solarian sniper. I'm particularly good at breaking things. Putting together is not my thing.
Dude, you stole my thing.
And with that, let's get into the game.
Coming soon to a galaxy right next door. This is Blasto's insert localized holiday here special. Now, each of our heroes has received a black docket, a box, a data pad containing a location and a credit transfer with more money than you've ever seen. Please update credit transfer for inflation. Now, it says only meet at a bar in the core of Omega. At the peak of night, it says that you will know who your contact is. Some of our heroes are mercenaries and vagabonds and criminals. One of our heroes is the legendary, the incomparable Blasto, the first Hanar Spectre. We open, camera panning, on our bar, seedy, full of criminals, full of slime, full of muck. And one by one, 4 folks who stand out a little more than the rest walk in. Please describe. We're going to start with Blasto. Where in the bar or what you're looking for to stake out or where you might go. Do you go up to the bar? Do you hide in a dark corner? Do you stay by the doorway? Blasto, where are you headed first?
This one is headed to the corner table with the largest chairs to sit and observe the entire room. This one does not trust anyone in this space.
Lutana, where are you going?
I'm heading straight to the bar, keeping my hood up and my eyes open.
Palak, where are you going?
I'm also heading straight to the bar, but not standing near the Turian. I'm going to order myself some Rheinkall and just settle in to wait.
And Bogan, where are you going?
I would be positioning myself somewhere at a table, actually facing away from the bulk of the people, making myself look like less of a threat. Meanwhile, I actually have the heads-up display for my sniper rifle keyed so I can scan everyone without them realizing that I am observing them.
Excellent. Would everyone please make a perception check, Bogan with advantage?
That sounded good.
This one sees shit.
What is the number that one rolled?
A 6.
Great.
I got a 15.
Oh, I got an 11.
Bogan observed at a 22.
Fuck you, Bogan.
Excellent. Everybody rolled just high enough, barely, to notice that 4 people don't look like, or 3 other than yourself, don't look like your average riffraff. So, starting with Frankie, Lutana, please describe yourself.
Okay. Lutana is a femturian, usually very alert. I think she had green eyes in that picture. Doesn't matter, though. She's very shrouded. She keeps herself covered most of the time, so you can't really tell what weapon she may have or what attacks she could possibly dole out. She should seem mysterious, like you're not really sure what to make of her.
Excellent. Blasto, please describe yourself in case no one's ever heard of you.
Everyone should know what this one looks like. But for those who don't, this one is carrying 2 M4 shurikens on what you might imagine could be this one's hips, if this one has hips. This one is wearing medium armor with a Spectre insignia on it, red stripes on the side of the armor. This one also has a Omni whip, being held firmly in one of his appendages. Think of it as an extra long appendage. And this one also looked very cautious and also very agitated, as if ready to pounce, and is constantly scanning the room.
Excellent. Palak, please describe yourself.
So, Burlock Palak is just a giant specimen of Krogan, 7 foot tall, 400 pounds of fuck you uppitude, wearing heavy armor, just festooned with weapons, and now just downing an entire glass of very strong alcohol in one go.
And Bogan, what do you look like?
Bogan Jath is a Solarian. He's dressed in what would be described as a jumpsuit that is of particular quality, but perhaps more for fashion rather than for combat purposes. He seems very guest starry in this kind of holiday special here. He has a greenish skin tone to him, but it has sort of an artificial taint to it, as if it was some sort of spray tan on perhaps more of a grayer flesh tone. His jumpsuit is almost a little bit silvery. It's not conducive towards a proper sniper, which is what you would describe him as. However, the outfit does, in theory, look appropriate for a soldier. Just there's flourishes and embellishments that are more for fashion than otherwise.
Excellent. Now, our rolls were 6, 11, 15, and 22. So, Lutana and Blasto, that is all you needed. This bar full of riffraff, and then these 3 other individuals. Palak and Jath, you notice that, wow, everyone here is sort of wearing civilian attire, but there's a pauldron over what you might expect to just be a plain shirt. You maybe see a vest peeking through. There's sidearms all over Omega, but the sidearms are particularly large and plentiful tonight. Something might be up. And Bogan, you notice that almost every single table has a VI personal assistant at the table. That's a lot of money for a seedy bar in Omega. You also notice, all of you, the 3 individuals who peek out. Anybody who rolled more than a 10, which is hilariously everyone but Blasto, recognizes Blasto.
Blasto doesn't recognize himself?
Did not roll high enough.
Who is this one?
Blasto needs to work on some self-reflection.
I would know Blasto anywhere.
Of course. What do any of you do upon noticing Blasto? Or any of the other things that people who might have been paying more attention know?
Lutana definitely feels like something is about to go wrong and starts to kind of back away, maybe, and try to find a more defensible position.
Are you looking to have your back towards a corner? Are you looking to have your back towards the bar itself? Are you looking to hop behind the bar? How drastic are we talking?
I think maybe she's looking to have a wall to her back so no one can get behind her.
Okay, we'll say you shuffle off just past the bar into the corner, and you've got a wall behind you and a table in front of you. It's an empty table. You're pretty sure that you're gonna be okay if something were to go to hell right this second. Anybody else want to do something? Blasto, are you just content to drink?
Correct. This one is just sipping his space wine. Because this one is a classy motherfucker.
I would like to make a perception check to ascertain if Blasto is aware of my presence.
That's an insight check. Go for it.
Sure, I would like to make that insight check.
An 18.
Blasto, are you concealing your presence at all? Are you trying to not be Blasto?
No. This one is always Blasto.
You notice that Blasto has noticed you.
I see. Well, in that case, I would like to prepare. My sniper rifle is concealed somewhat. People are aware that there is a gun on my person. But I would like to prepare, using, of course, my heads-up visor and camera apparatus from the sniper rifle, prepare to shoot out the lights and potentially duck behind the table that I am currently sitting at and draw a bead on Blasto, that bastard.
Excellent. Does anyone else have anything they would like to do?
I'm just gonna check my weapons, put a subtle hand on my pistol, just make sure that it's there. Just trying to be aware of everything that's going on in the room, but I'm not gonna actually go anywhere. I'm fine here.
All right, and Palak, you're the only one at the bar still, yes?
Yes, because Lutana went away, so I'm the only one. I guess if I'm the only one of this party still there, I don't know if I'm the only one at the bar at all.
At the bar. That's what's interesting here. It is a full packed house, but everyone's at tables and sort of huddled over in their own groups.
Cool.
I need you to make a perception check.
Absolutely. Nat 20.
Excellent. Now, I need you to make a dexterity save with advantage.
Dexterity save with advantage. Cool. Okay, 16 is the highest one.
Excellent. A lot of things happen all at once. The bartender, a very quiet, very calm, as far as you can tell, Batarian, slim and small for a male Batarian, quickly, out of nowhere, removes what can only be a giant fuck-off shotgun from underneath the bar, aims dead center at our Krogan friend, and goes to fire, but the Krogan moves just fast enough to grab the barrel and push it to the side, firing aimlessly and helplessly behind him. When that ringing shot goes out, every single other person in the bar stands up, gun drawn. The VI assistants even pull their own pistols. Everyone roll initiative.
Absolutely.
So, Lutana, what is your initiative?
Okay, then it's 6.
Excellent. Blasto?
This one got 15.
Ooh, exciting. Palak?
I rolled an 8.
Great. Case, or Bogan.
As is appropriate for a Solarian who is both prepared and also very jittery as befitting his race. I got a 23.
Excellent. Bogan, you will go first. And you notice the bartender fired at the Krogan. Everyone else in the bar immediately stood up and pointed their guns at one of the 4 of you. What would you like to do in this bar full of Batarians, Turians, and robots?
So I do notice that the 4 of us have been targeted by the people inside the bar.
Yes.
Okay.
That is incredibly evident.
In that case, I'm going to jump behind the table and shoot out the lights, which was my initial goal to disrupt things.
Make an attack roll.
Okay. 15.
I'm going to say that's enough to shoot out. Are you aiming for a particular light or the power box? How are you shooting out the lights?
Well, that I think depends on the nature of the lighting array. If it's all kinds of small lights providing illumination in the room, then yes, I'd probably shoot for the power. If it's more of a sort of a central primary light fixture, maybe I would go for that.
It is a central light fixture in the middle of the room, almost like a hastily welded together chandelier made of sad high school pipe projects.
Then that would be appropriate, yes.
We'll shoot that clean off, and then all that remains are a couple fairy lights and flickering bulbs here and there.
Yes, I think that would be more beneficial than simply taking out the power. The chandelier would fall to the ground, potentially hurting any of our assailants, and also creating enough of a distraction. And perhaps, if I'm lucky, maybe some pieces will fall off and hit Blasto.
I'm going to say the chandelier does not fall, but you do successfully hit the conduit above the chandelier, and everyone in the room notices most of the lights go out. We'll say that the entire room is now dimly lit, the gameplay condition, rather than dimly lit the way I like my dive bars.
Excellent. Yes, if they looked in my direction, they would see the barrel of my sniper rifle sticking out of the chest of the VI that was affixed to the table that I was standing at. So it would almost appear as if the VI shot it, but that's insane, and they would realize it's a gun and that someone's standing through the VI.
Beautiful. Next up, we have our roving horde. So, and I'm going to briefly break out. I will say I'm running this game, this particular fight, like minions. All of our villains, all of our many, many villains are just idiots with guns. They will go to quick, and they will move as a unit. So, Spurlock, Palak, what is your AC?
My AC is 17.
5 random vagabonds immediately open fire on you, and most of the shots ricochet off your armor. But one single Batarian files a pistol blast and hits right in your armpit, right where the moving plates don't quite interlock, and you take 4 points of damage.
Got it.
Ooh, I bet that stings.
Yes.
Blasto, you are immediately attacked by 2 more Batarians attempting to tackle you, leaping towards you. Make an athletics check with advantage or an acrobatics check with advantage, your choice, to dodge these brawling Batarian brigands.
This one will go with athletics. 18.
18?
Yes.
Excellent. Both Batarians leap low, and being a Hanar floating by Mass Effect fields, you simply levitate a couple inches more off the ground and they smash into each other. Blasto, it is also your turn. 2 pirates just tried to tackle you and fell behind you, and you are surrounded by idiots with guns, and 3 other people also being pointed at by idiots with guns.
Okay, I will take this opportunity. Okay, this one will take this opportunity to draw both of his M4 shurikens and attack first one of the 2 brigands who tried to tackle him, who are beneath him at this point, at point-blank range.
Roll your attack.
Okay, first attack is 14.
Direct headshot right between the eyes. Brains splatter and green blood ricochets across the floor.
I will take my second attack and attack the other one who tried to tackle me.
Go ahead.
That is a 12.
Also a hit. This one right between the armor plates of the solar plexus. Sinks further into the ground.
I lift my gun to where my mouth would be, pretend to blow smoke from the front of the gun, even though they don't emit smoke, and go, this one's just getting started.
Fantastic. Palak, you are holding the shotgun of a frail bartender who just tried to shoot your head off.
Yes, and I'm going to do something with that. I am going to drag him towards me by the shotgun and headbutt him as hard as I can.
Make an athletics check.
Athletics check. Okay, this should go well. I have a +7 in that. Not super well, 14.
That's all right. Turns out you rolled higher than an octogenarian Batarian.
Fantastic.
You yank him forward, swing your head to meet him, and make just an attack roll with advantage.
19.
There we go.
Cool. So you reach over the bar, you yank him towards you, you swing your head at him, and as it makes impact, the front of his head sort of caves in, and he falls back, letting go of the gun, collapsing onto the floor, and you're left holding the barrel of a shotgun, surrounded by other people with guns, pointing them every which way, with your back to them, because you're still facing the bar. Would you like to move?
Yes, I would like to turn around so that I am facing as many of the assailants as possible and put my back to the bar. I would like to, as a bonus action, activate my Omni Shield.
Excellent. So everyone, you notice a Krogan headbutt a man to death, hold a shotgun like a baseball bat by the barrel, and turn on a riot shield. Lutana, it is your turn.
Yay.
You have your back to the wall, a table in front of you. There are 5 Turians and Batarians on the other side of that table pointing guns at you. What would you like to do?
I am going to charge one assailant. I'm going to use my biotic charge.
Excellent. So you leap forward, biotic charge, make your attack.
Let's make a dexterity saving throw.
All right.
So you make a saving throw, Josh.
Yep. Does a 7 save? I do not think it does.
It doesn't.
You hit.
So that was 5.
You leap forward, charged with biotic energy, slam into the first assailant, and they ricochet off of you, slamming into the wall and crumpling in a cracking of bones. The other 4 assailants, now surrounding you with you in the middle of them, turn and look confused. What do you do next?
Next, I'm going to literally slam.
Excellent. Is that all of them?
No, I think it only does one. Target a lifted, oh no, it has to be a lifted creature. Never mind, I will not do that one. Instead, I will do Nightshade Blades.
Excellent. Tell me what that sounds amazing.
So Nightshade Blades. My Omni tool is equipped with 3 microscopic poison-tipped blades that are able to pierce through the shields and armor. I make a ranged weapon attack on a creature I can see within range, expending 1 blade. I add my proficiency bonus to this roll. On a hit, the target takes 1d12 poison damage and must succeed on a Constitution saving throw. Or they'll become poison until it finishes a short rest.
Excellent. Go for it.
So that is a 17 to hit.
Fantastic. That hits. Roll damage.
That's 4.
The holographic manufactured blade goes flying and hits right at the top of the trachea, and that assailant sinks to the ground.
And then that's the end of my turn.
Excellent. So you've leapt into the middle of the fray. You've taken out 2 out of 5 people pointing guns at you, and the other 3 are shaking with fear.
As they should be.
That takes us back to the top of the round. Bogan.
Excellent. How many assailants are we looking at this point?
Thank you for asking. Make a perception check. This will not count against your actions for this turn.
Excellent. My perception consistently rolls well. This was a 22.
You're looking at exactly 19 assailants left.
19. That is a number that I do not care for. So, from my partial cover behind the table that I kicked over, I'm going to look over at the ones that are closest to Blasto, and I'm going to shoot at them.
So Blasto just took out 2 Batarians that are on the ground, and there's probably 4 or 5 more creeping in on him. You are in profile. If you were particularly fancy, you might be able to do a line drive.
Oh, really? How does that work?
You are at an angle that you could probably line up a good shot if you were willing to take that risk.
I would love to. What will be the circumstances for that?
You would make an attack roll at disadvantage, and if it succeeds, you will fire your bullet in a direct line, passing through as many of their skulls as possible.
Excellent. Well, I shall attempt to do that for my first attack roll.
Okay, so that was an 11 and an 18, so it's the 11. That is a 20 total.
Fantastic. Blasto, you see 4 men slowly working their ways toward you. Batarian, Turian, 2 of each. And as they get just close enough for you to worry that you might actually have to work today, their heads in rapid succession, boom, 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 evaporate, and they fall like beautiful dominoes.
It's like that Korn music video.
Only is it as they're falling that you hear the report of the sniper rifle and turn to see the Solarian having just done your dirty work for you.
As I cock my gun for my second shot, I say, no one gets to kill Blasto but me.
Where are you aiming that second shot?
In this case, I probably wouldn't be lining up for any particular thing. I am standing and thus exposed, so no longer in partial cover, but firing at one of the others that are as close to Blasto.
Okay. So we'll say that there's another assailant behind Blasto that you're going to go right over Blasto as if you were shooting him, as if you were giving into temptation, but not. So make an attack roll for me.
That would be a 19.
A beautiful hit. Make a damage roll for me.
Excellent. That's a 9 on damage.
Blasto, you turn because you feel the breeze of the bullets screech past you. And as you turn, another assailant right behind you takes a round to the chest and drops.
And I would like to note that this is not the time nor the place for us to settle our differences over Vermeer, Blasto. But When this is all over, I will speak with you. And I cock my gun for my double tap.
And aim for someone else. In which case, that is a 26 for my attack roll.
Roll your damage roll, please.
So that was 10 damage.
I will say that an assailant is creeping up to your left, and you sort of fold the sniper rifle under your armpit to shoot him directly in the chest. It is beautiful. It is artful. It is ballet of bullets at its finest. It is gorgeous.
Fantastic. I will not use my adrenaline rush feature, however. I feel that we have this situation fairly well in hand, and I don't need to tax my body unnecessarily.
You did just take out 1/3 of the remaining enemies.
Well, I have to give some work for the rest of you. I'm not being paid for this job currently.
Everyone makes a reflex save. Everybody makes a reflex save. We're going to start with Lieutenant.
Real quick, is this something that I can see?
It is something that you can see.
Cool, I get advantage.
Make a dexterity save with advantage, please.
Nat 20 plus 2.
Wait, nat 20?
Yeah.
Great. You're going to get to do a fun thing.
Yay.
Blasto.
10.
All right. Pallet.
That is an 11.
All right. And Bogan, yours, please.
Unfortunately, the dice were not with me on this particular one. I only had a 13.
Everyone, well, let me describe what happens first. Every single assailant in the bar starts firing wildly. It's not a question of whether or not they're going to survive. They don't care if they seem to hit each other. They care about clearing out the four of you as quickly as possible. The bar becomes a bevy of barrages of ballistics. It is horrifying. It is a somber staccato of death made of steel and screams. However, everyone who rolled above a 10, you only take 3 points of damage. Blasto, you take 6 points of damage from some of the ricocheting bullets bouncing throughout the establishment. But Lutana, you see this syncopated barrage about to happen and leap forward in a beautiful butterfly kick, dodging the bullets, rolling on the ground, and coming up in the center of the room with a bead on everyone. And that is incredibly convenient because I'm going to say that your natural 20 bumps you up in the initiative order, and it is currently your turn.
Great.
I will say to the party, you can continue to mow these folks down, or since you have the advantage, any of you could try to convince them to surrender if you wanted to.
I have no interest in that.
So, Lutana, what would you like to do?
I want to try and convince them to surrender.
What do you say, and how do you say it?
So, center of the room, right?
Center of the room. You just butterfly kicked your way through a storm of bullets.
Okay. Hopefully, Lutana lands with enough force that it makes a noise to attract everyone's attention, and she shouts, "That's enough!"
Yeah, roll persuasion. That works for me. I have a mob.
Okay. Let's see if that works. That will be a 14.
The bar gets suddenly very, very quiet. The AI assistants holding their guns flicker off, and you hear the clatter, 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 clatter of everyone dropping their arms and raising their hands. What started out as 25 heavily armed brigands is now only 7 or 8 holding up their hands. One Batarian, clutching his stomach, says, "Enough! We're done here. We're done here. I'll talk. Just let the rest of them go."
Lutana rolls her eyes so hard that she can see the back of her head.
He's dressed like all the others, maybe wearing a little more armor, maybe a little more heavily armed, maybe a little more profusely bleeding. But enough. They're my men. We'll talk. We'll talk.
Lutana nods and then looks at the other shooters and then kind of jerks her head towards the door, as in, leave now before I change my mind.
I disagree with this course of action. I think that we should retain their services until at least we've heard what he has to say.
I don't want trigger-happy shooters at my back. I want them out.
How about sitting on their hands at your front?
As she says, "I want them out," it looks a little bit like the teacher let out recess for the first time in 10 years. It is a storm of running, crying, bleeding mercs. They just bolt out of the bar.
Oh, buy that Protheans.
As soon as they all take off, I use this opportunity to shake a tentacle at Bogan and then hit my technical cloak and disappear. And then I re-appear, gun drawn in the face of the Batarian leader.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
This one wants to know everything. Start talking.
Yo, did you guys see that? He was invisible.
Make an intimidation check, Blasto.
I got on my intimidation a 15.
We were given a job, told that the 4 of you would be here, and to make sure you didn't leave.
What did I do?
There was a black box dropped off, said that there was going to be an attack, and you 4 were pegged as the most likely to prevent it.
Box, you say?
A coded data pad, location, specific directions, time, so very many credits.
Does this sound familiar to anyone else?
I say to my compatriots.
Didn't we all get coded data pads and a lot of credits? Or I did. I got that. I don't know about you guys. I got that to come here.
Yes, that's very good. That is the point I was trying to make. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome, jerk.
Lutana laughs and says, "This has all been very nice. It was great to meet you. I'm leaving now."
Okay, bye. It's nice meeting you.
This one thinks that's a bad idea.
This one unfortunately agrees.
Well, this one doesn't give a fuck.
The Batarian reaches out his arm and says, "Wait, I know what they're going to attack.
Go on.
They're after the insert localized holiday here parade."
Oh no.
Not Krogmas. You guys know Krogmas? The holiday where Krog Smashbrains comes and gives shotguns to all the good young Krogans?
Yes, we Solarians are very familiar with Krogmas. We created it as a marketing campaign when we first uplifted your species.
I know, I have so many shotguns now, it's great.
Yes, they're after
All of you.
they're after the Krogmas parade. You were pegged as mercenaries or agents that might be hired in the counterattack.
Who is they?
I don't know. They drop off black boxes. I've worked for them for a few cycles now.
I press my gun against it. This one presses his gun against his temple. I think you're lying.
Make an insight check.
I feel like we're doing this ass backwards. We have a Krogan in our company. He should be bad cop.
18.
18. He seems like he's telling the truth, but like he's not telling you the whole truth.
For fuck's sake. I shoot his foot.
He drops to the ground. I'm complying. What do you want?
The truth.
Yeah, that found her really upset, and she draws a gun on Bogan.
Of course.
I'm gonna go and stand between Lutana and Bogan.
Whoa, hey.
Look, I don't give a fuck what's going on, but you don't shoot someone who is your prisoner.
Unfortunately, that's Bogan's MO. This one is not surprised.
I mean, let's be very clear here. We have a potential terrorist action that is going to potentially hurt a lot of people and destroy some very happy Krogan's childhood memories, which I can tell you, if you think Krogan are bad, think about disillusioned Krogan.
Also, Krogan don't have many happy childhood memories because of, the genophage.
Right, so if they only get one, admittedly a constructed one that we sold to them, but they only get one, and you take that one away, what is left? Pure nihilism and pure destruction. Meanwhile, this one here, the Batarian, not Blasto, here, potentially has information about it that he wasn't fully revealing. Now, the direness of the situation required expedient action in terms of enhanced interrogation.
Lutana flips him off and then goes over to the Batarian to administer some metagel.
Good. You're getting the idea. That's good cop. That works. Thank you.
I will shoot you in the face.
The Batarian kind of looks back and forth at this ping pong, waiting for his time.
After Lutana administers the metagel, I'm just gonna pick this dude up by his shoulders so that he's eye level with me.
Hey, buddy, you're telling us the truth, right? You're not lying to me, are you?
It would be bad to lie on Krogmas.
Sometimes we drop off supplies or loot to a warehouse at the top of Omega. That's all I really know. Here's the nav points, and he taps a code onto his Omni tool and beams it to you.
I feel like you're concealing one point, which is that you know that they are supplies, What are they? Even if you think that it might be false, what at least does the shipping manifest indicate?
Salvage metal, scrap parts, old spaceship supplies, but 50, 100, 150 years old. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, if you're making a bomb, you can definitely do that with those parts. And if you're...
Actually, you know what? I would like to make an engineering check to see if I can ascertain anything about like what you might use those for.
Okay, I'm going to need you to ask... Let's say that you're asking him more specific questions about what might be in those boxes, and it's part of
sure.
your
I'm going to
engine.
get very detailed about it because, like, if he's indicating that this one was like an engine, I would like to know more information. And being proficient in engineering, if he starts rattling off stuff, I can at the very least keep up with the technical jargon.
Make an engineering check at disadvantage because you're like getting the second hand. You're trying to pull this out of someone.
Sure. When he says the doohickey, I need to like fill in the blanks at some point.
Yeah.
So you said at disadvantage?
Yep.
Okay, so that will be an 18.
Wow.
Damn.
What was the higher roll?
So I rolled a 14 and a 17, and I'm proficient.
Got it. It's all spaceship parts, but he doesn't really know what he's talking about. It's all specifically spaceship computer parts.
Oh, it's computer.
Navigation, automation, gun automation, armory automation, thruster automation. It's all computer parts for spaceships. Digital controllers and such. You know, space MIDI.
Interesting.
You're not really sure why somebody would need to control that many different systems. He's describing like several fleets worth of nav and computation tech.
I don't think that the plan is for them to steal Omega, do you?
I want to steal Omega. This place
Hey,
sucks.
Omega's a nice place. I live here.
Well, you'll continue to live here, just here will be a different place.
I mean, that doesn't sound so bad. See more of space? See different stars? That'd be cool.
Certainly possible. Or it could be creating some sort of auto-targeting system to fire on everyone inside. Also possible. Or it could just be a bomb. Any of these are possibilities. I think we need to investigate and find out more.
I don't like 2 out of the 3 of those.
I'm going to say the Krogan and the Solarian make history checks with whatever relevant bonuses. Actually, the Krogan gets advantage anyway.
Sweet.
That still didn't help me. My highest is a 6.
Okay.
This D20 has failed me. I need a new one.
That would be an 8 for me.
All right. Well, thankfully, the two of you were sort of putting your heads together on this one. The only Krogmas celebration is on the Krogan homeworld. It's not an intergalactic holiday. If they were gonna take Omega somewhere to ruin Krogmas, well, there's only one place it could go.
The last time I was on Tachanka, I was told that if I ever returned, and they confirmed my identity upon it, I'd be dead. I don't wish to be forcibly brought there. We need to stop this.
To be fair, they can't really blow up Tachanka any more than it's already been blown up.
That's also true. Our kind, and I give Lutana like a pat on her shoulder. It's like, our kind really did a good job there.
When he touches Lutana, she reacts to bend his arm back.
Hey, this wasn't in the contract. This wasn't in the contract. This is real. This is real. This is real.
And Lutana says very low and very dangerously, "Don't touch me."
It's called improv. All right, stay in scene. Stay in scene. Okay.
This one is tired of talking. Toss this trash to the side. We have a parade to save.
All right. So do you guys head for that warehouse, or what's the goal?
I'm sorry, Lutana needs a good reason to do this because she doesn't actually give a shit.
It's in the script of the TV show you're in.
Like Krogmas.
It's a non-equity shoot. You're being paid by the hour. Take the job.
All right, fine.
Oh God, I should make all of my D&D campaigns take place in TV shows. I don't have to justify shit.
It's certainly great. As she's complaining, I do pull out the script and I point out how the scene is supposed to go before she decided to manhandle me.
Blasto looks directly into the camera, and as if he could, gives the camera like a weekend nod, the best that a Hanar can, pulls his gun up and says, "This one is ready to roll out," and then walks out of the scene.
So as Blasto walks out, our camera cuts 60 Batman style, bringing an optic in and optic out. And suddenly, we're outside a warehouse in what could pass for the ritzy part of Omega. The 4 of you re-equipped, healed, the Batarian quickly forgotten because he was the producer's nephew and really only needed the one scene. So, we cut outside the warehouse in Omega. It's rusty, it's seedy. It's surrounded by fire escapes because everything in Omega is. The doors are shut. They are blast doors. There are no windows that you can see. It is, for all intents and purposes, a Durasteel box. Just a really big one.
What's the roof like?
It's a Frank Lloyd Wright single roof line slope, like a giant sad trapezoid.
I would say that we should all scout the perimeter and see if there's any obvious point of egress.
All right. Everyone, make an investigation check. Everybody. Actually, yeah, no, everybody.
Ooh. That's not my strong suit.
This one rolled a 7.
Okay.
I rolled a 19.
I rolled a 15.
Okay.
This was investigation.
Mm-hmm.
In that case, it's a 20.
As you all sort of quietly pace around the warehouse, there's no need to be stealthy. It's Omega. No one cares what you steal. The Krogan, the Turian, and the Solarian, almost at the same time, arrive at the same corner where a weld in the wall seems to be starting to crack. Just a weak point on the far northwest corner of the entire building.
Interesting. Krogan, may I make use of your services?
Do you want me to smash it?
Yes, but I don't wish for you to smash it in the way that I think you want to smash it. I have a way for you to smash it better.
There's better ways to smash it.
Pollock is so excited by this revelation that there are different ways to break things.
What do I do?
So, this is Omega, after all. No one really cares what we steal or if we steal anything.
Hell yeah, let's have a riot.
Going a little... that might be the end point of this, but let's start with first just stealing a vehicle and ramming it with explosives lined on it. And I think that you, my Krogan friend, are the best person to pilot it.
Hold on, let me make sure I got this right. You want me to drive an explosive-laden car into a building because you think that, as a Krogan, I'll survive that?
Correct.
Okay, I'm down. I just wanted to make sure that that's what was happening. I guess is anyone voicing objections to this plan? Because otherwise I'm going for it.
Is anyone there to witness this plan?
Oh, you're all there. All 4 of you are staring at this crack in the wall going,
I mean, I object. I think that is a really dumb idea. We could just pry it open.
And whatever is on the other side might be able to open fire upon us. I say we explode it real big, and then have those of us with ranged weapons positioned in secret spots that can then snipe on anything inside.
We do sniping.
Okay, well, I do sniping, so I would like to climb one of the many fire escapes up here and get into a good position so that when the explosion occurs, anyone who comes to investigate, hey, what was that explosion? They instantly die.
Or we can sneak into the building without anyone knowing that we're here so we don't give away our position.
I'm sorry, have you seen me? I don't sneak well.
Sometimes the best way to sneak around is to have a performative display of fireworks.
I want to try and just rip it open.
Make a strength check.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Okay. That is a 20, but not natural.
It's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
You hear the shearing of steel. And I don't mean like ripping or rending. I mean shearing. The steel is being stretched and then broken. It is disgusting. It sounds like an Autobot giving birth. It is a terrible noise. And anyone in that building is going to hear it ricocheting and rattling and reverberating through the whole thing. But there is now a sizable 9-foot tall, 4-foot wide hole in the corner of this building, leading into, as far as you can tell, absolute darkness.
Hey, so I know I just made a whole lot of noise, but what if we plant bombs at this giant hole that they're gonna come investigate? Huh? Not so dumb now, right? Who has bombs? I don't have any.
This one is not carrying grenades today.
The Solarian made it sound like he had bombs.
Going to steal bombs.
That's a lot of stealing, my guy. We don't have a lot of money here on Omega.
You all hear a lot of footsteps.
This one will handle it. I hit my tactical cloak and get into position. This one suggests y'all do the same.
I'm going to activate my tech armor. Then I'm going to pull out my shotgun and point it at the hole.
I was going to climb one of the myriad fire escapes and position myself at a less obvious concealed spot where I could still have a good sniper range.
You could try to do that. Lutana?
Lutana moves to the side of the hole, hood up, Omni Blade out, ready to take on anyone who comes out.
You still hear footsteps, but you're pretty sure they're going away from the hole in the wall.
Did I scare them?
This one thinks it's impossible.
I'm going to calm Blasto. Blasto, I think that they may be trying to escape from the other side. Can you flank?
This one will take care of it, and I move.
Part of me wants to lean into the Krogan impulse to rush into the building.
I would lean into the impulse.
Okay, I am going to, trusting the faint glow that's given off by my tech armor, I'm going to run into the building after the footsteps.
Yeah, that's what Lutana was doing.
Oh, cool.
So the two of you run into the building. It is really pitch black, and there are footsteps hurtling away from you. You hear voices, get out, we're launching, get out. And you hear those steel doors at the front of the building slide open and people run out. We're launching now, whatever it is, it'll deal with it. We're launching, get out. And the two on the outside of the building see scientists and workers and welders and blue-collar folks pouring out of the building, just yelling, we're launching, we're going, get out.
Oh, this isn't going to go well.
Now that the door is open, is there any more light in there for us to see what they're launching?
There is light. There's nothing in front of you. It looks like almost like a welding bay or a sculpture warehouse. There's welding tools and there's computers strewn about. It's very clear they were building something, but you don't see it at eye level. Do you take a good look around the warehouse?
Yes.
Both of you make perception checks for me.
4.
17.
Lutana is looking around very clearly and has a good scope on everything in the room and at ground level. But, Palak, you hear something. It actually reminds you of a rumble or a purr, and it's coming from above you. And you look up and you see a giant robot Krogan Krampus. It has a giant sack mounted to its back. It looks a lot like a Krogan, but a lot like how other races describe Krogans. A lot like a monster Krogan, the Krogan of the Solarian nightmares. The Krogan the Turians were afraid would take over the world. And it has a massive gun in its robotic arms. The biggest gun you've ever seen. You have slept in spaceships smaller than this gun.
Oh my dead Krogan gods. I like swat a hand, like I'm not looking at Lutana, but I'm trying to like touch her, like, hey, look at how cool it is.
Lutana, you look up.
Yep.
And you see everything that's wrong with the galaxy.
Lutana then says, and this is why I hate Krognus.
Palak, you leap, and as you leap, Lutana follows and drop behind I almost said science tool, a computer console seeking cover as the thrusters on the bottom of this giant Krogan death god fire. And the top of the warehouse opens like a giant hatch. The two of you on the outside see Krogan Krampus god ascend. And over the loudspeakers of this building, all of you hear, Project Launch. This will be the last Krogmas on Tachanka. And the giant Krogan death god flies straight up, launching itself off of Omega on a trajectory that you can only assume is the Krogan homeworld.
Well, that sucks.
You're telling me. Where do I get a shotgun that big? Oh, right, priorities.
This one thinks we have a new objective now.
Yeah, circling back to stealing a vehicle, I think we should explore that plan and pursue.
No need to steal. My ship isn't far, and it would fit all of you.
But I thought we'd like a good vehicle.
Oh, snap.
This one is tired. This one is tired of you, Bogan.
Do you want some Metagel for that burn?
Shut up, Alec.
Okay.
Hey, don't be mean to Palak.
Nobody asked you either. This one is trying to think.
You know what? We should go get our own ship.
get our own ship.
I'm going to say in this moment, we cut. We are in the... Does Blasto's ship have a name?
That's a good question. I don't know that it does.
Good ship, jellyfish.
We are in the jellyfish. Blasto at the helm. Everyone else manning the various stations, clearly very grumpy about it. Plotting a course for Tachanka, racing down the Krogan Krampus Death God. Does anyone wish to say anything?
I'm not thrilled with these circumstances.
This one doesn't care if you're thrilled or not. This one will deal with you later.
Obviously, this one doesn't care if I'm thrilled or not. Otherwise, he wouldn't have left me for dead on Vermeer.
This one had things to take care of. This one knew you would be fine.
Just kiss already. Wait, no, sorry. Different. Sorry, that's a different show. I'm sorry.
Are you sure? I think that might be this show.
This one will worry about dealing with everything else after this one blows up a giant Krogan.
Does anybody have any preparations they want to make on board a ship? It is the flagship of a Spectre. You could modify weapons. You could try to build something. You could try to research something. It is a long flight to Tachanka. You have some time to maybe figure something out if you wanted to.
Well, obviously, I would like to pursue figuring out how best to attack from range. If there's any kind of, say, torpedoes that could be modified to travel at a higher velocity or go a greater distance, any sort of cannons that can be primed and prepared to fire as soon as they show up on our sensors, we should be able to just levy a barrage.
Sure. Make an engineering check for me.
Excellent.
And would you say this has anything to do with recalling information about the schematics of the ship?
No.
Okay. In that case, it would be a 19.
I think that's high enough, you grubby little bastard. Excellent. We're going to go over everybody's successes and failures after I figure out what everybody wants to do. Lutana, how do you want to prep on this flight to fight a giant Krogan death machine?
Is a very up close and personal fighter. So this isn't really something that she knows what to do with. Like, she needs to be able to punch something with her biotically charged hands.
Make an intelligence check.
Okay. It's not my strong suit.
Not everyone can be a Solarian.
That's all right. It can also be an insight check if you need it to be.
If it's insight, then it's 15.
At the bar, there were VIs attacking, not AI. The stuff that was being shipped to this warehouse were steering and controlling and computational things, but they weren't anything you could build an AI with. That giant Krogan death machine has pilots in it.
Ooh, I like that. If we can get close to it and get me on it, I can go kill a guy.
Perhaps we can consolidate our efforts. So I was trying to figure out ways to launch a projectile at them from a greater distance than what they would expect. Perhaps that projectile could be some sort of boarding vessel for you.
For a second, I thought you were just going to say it could be me.
I expected him to say it would be me.
I mean, it could be both. Why not both?
Por qué no los dos?
Are you guys, the three of you, building some sort of like boarding torpedo?
Yes.
Maybe?
I am absolutely putting my efforts toward, because
Like, Pollock is very confident in his ability to kill anything that needs to be killed. He sees no need to get new weapons. So, like, the only preparations I'm really making are making sure that, like, I've taken a short rest so that all of my tech armor and the, like, Omni Shield things are back up to full. And then I am being the muscle for building whatever they're building.
Okay, so the three of you are building a boarding torpedo. Blasto, what's your plan?
Well, Blasto currently is piloting the ship, so making sure that kind of happens.
You could put that on autopilot and do something else if you wanted to.
That's fair. This one believes that any job worth doing is worth doing correctly. But Blasto will remind everyone that he fits into very small spaces and can get very small. So whatever they're building to board this Krogan, he can fit anywhere. So as long as they make a small pocket of space for him to jiggle his way into, he'll be able to participate in the boarding torpedo.
so I can just carry you in my pocket.
This one isn't that small, but you're getting the idea.
I have big pockets. They're like cargo pants.
Krogan, I think what you would need is some sort of satchel to throw over your shoulder as you squeeze down that chimney.
I would be Krampus.
So, I'm going to need a series of checks to build the boarding torpedo, and you guys can decide who makes these checks. I need first an engineering check for the actual design and construction of the thing.
Okay, so I have a +4 in engineering. Does anyone have a better one?
Not I, said the assassin.
All right. That would be a 17.
Excellent. Would my Turian friend make a dexterity check? Because you are quickly throwing this thing together. So there's all sorts of weird soldering and fly-by-night puzzle piecing that you're going to need to help with.
Is it a straight dexterity or?
Straight dexterity. With advantage, though.
Okay, cool. So that is a dirty 20.
Krogan, please make a straight strength check with advantage, because you are physically ripping a torpedo apart with your bare hands on a hurtling spaceship.
Yep.
18.
Excellent. And finally, Blasto, make an intelligence check, because you're going to have to program the ship to fly and fire this thing, not miss, and then fly away.
This one rolled a 15.
All right. You are all reasonably sure that this strange breaching craft you have built will successfully pierce the hull-grade armor of the giant Krogan death machine, and that you'll be able to deploy from inside this torpedo somehow. Are there any final preparations you want to make before we cut to the Battle of Tachanka?
I would like to take a quick look through Blasto's armory to see what's there.
There are so many grenades. It's like Blasto exclusively works in grenades. It's really weird.
I'm just gonna. Hey, Blasto, can I grab some grenades?
Yes.
Awesome.
I'm going to actually say, for the purposes of this mission, you all have an amount of whatever grenades you want to use.
Delightful.
Because this is Act 3 of a Michael Bay space movie.
Before we cut to the next scene, Blasto looks directly into the barrel of the camera and goes, "This one is excited to celebrate Krogmas. It's going to be a blast."
Great. So, your ship is hurtling towards Tachanka. The Krogan war machine is floating over its surface. Krogan men, women, children, soldiers, innocents, scientists are pouring away from the city it floats over. They run in fear of this strange visage, this representation of the fear the universe has for them, of the hate the universe has for Krogan. They run from this comically overproduced monster. Your ship enters the atmosphere as previously programmed. Blasto, please make an attack roll to fire your anti-Krogan boarding torpedo with all of you on it.
This one rolled an 18.
If you rolled a 1, the game would be over, so that's good. None of you can see this from inside the ship, but the camera crew had said to weep at the beauty of watching a giant ballistic missile hit a mecha Krogan in the blazing sunlight of New Tachanka. It strikes right between his mechanical porthole eyes and makes an airtight seal with the metal of the hull of the death machine. And you enter into a metal corridor. Wreckage behind you, red warning lights blaring, no one directly in front of you. But you hear shouting of commands and orders all around you. The corridor is only one direction, forward. It seems that you went through a porthole or an exit or a hatch directly in the front of the face. What do you do?
Blasto steps in front of everyone and pulls sunglasses out of somewhere, no one's quite sure where, and goes, "This one thinks this giant Krogan," puts on the sunglasses, "is in breach of contract."
No.
Pollock roars with laughter. It's so loud that the sound guys filming cover their ears because it hurts.
All right, folks. You're in a hallway full of blaring noise. What are you doing?
So Blasto is standing now in front of all of us, and I say,
Yep.
Hey, buddy. Are you sure you want to take point on this?
Absolutely not. This one is going to hide behind the meat shield with a name. You may go first, sir.
That's okay. Yeah, that's what I was hoping you'd say. Thanks. have a name? Pollock? You been to my kid's birthday party?
We move forward.
Okay.
Whatever pace he sets, I'm definitely staying very far behind.
So I don't want to just charge recklessly into this, but I do want to move, like, not at a walk, not at a run, at a trot.
A power walk?
A power walk, right? A very purposeful stride. We have work to do, but I don't want to run into an ambush.
All right, you're gonna power walk forward.
Yes.
All the voices you hear are coming from directly in front of you, but they have a weird mechanical lip. These don't sound like normal voices. It's all garbled, but you know what an organic voice sounds like. Something's up.
Hey, Solarian, do those sound like robots?
Well, that actually is an interesting point. I was going to ask, are there any like terminals or anything like that I could patch into to try to understand what is going on? Maybe get a map of the facility, or like a heat map indicating like the.
Make an investigation check.
An investigation to see if there's a terminal.
Yep.
That is a 6.
You don't see any terminals. You're in, as far as you can tell, a hallway. Flat surfaces all around, leading towards a doorway to somewhere.
Well, I would like to do a perception check to listen to the voices that our Krogan was referencing, and see if they do sound mechanical or not.
All right.
Okay, so it's a 17.
All right, so 17. You listen. You hear a lot of, priming primary weapon, preparing for the operation. And it sounds like an organic voice. Turian, Batarian, Solarian, but through a filter. There's something weird happening here. You're not quite sure what.
Like we're hearing the loudspeakers?
No, almost like they're all wearing Darth Vader helmets, if that's an example for you.
Ah, yes.
Well, I think the only way we're gonna find out what's going on is if we slice the pie.
There's pie?
There can be pie.
It'll be a blood pie. It'll be great for you.
I don't know how I feel about that. That's kind of gross.
You're Krogan. I thought that's something you'd like.
No, it just tastes like metal. Have you ever eaten metal? It's not good.
This one assumes you are speaking from experience.
Someone bet me 5 credits that I couldn't eat a grenade. I now have 5 credits.
Only 5?
Stop undercharging for your work.
You hear a blaring siren get louder and louder and louder and louder.
This one thinks we should move quickly and slice the pie, as it were.
Into the room.
This one will pull the lever and activate his tactical cloak at the same time.
The lever is pulled. The door opens. You see speakers everywhere in front of terminals. Almost like this entire thing was there to make you think there was a full crew. And standing in the center of this strange vignette is a Krogan. Covered in armor and cybertronic modification. He's got an eye that's a glowing orb of light. He carries on his back a sack. In his hands, a Gatling gun similar to the one that the robot you now stand in carries. And he says,
I will make this the last Krogmas,
and opens fire. Everyone make dexterity saves.
Wait, is this Cronus?
Crumpus.
Oh, I rolled a nat 1.
12 as well.
21.
Solarian immediately drops and the hailstorm of bullets flies over. Everyone else takes 7 whopping points of damage except for our Krogan, who takes 14 just being drilled as this giant, massive super Krogan almost drifts the Gatling gun over you for a little longer than everyone else, as if to say,
I have measured you and found you wanted.
So my AC does nothing to help me here.
Nope. Did you just drop, or are you still up?
Oh, no, I'm fine.
Okay.
I had 48 hit points to start, plus I have a lot of things that can give me more temporary hit points. But,
Oof.
So that was his action, but that was a surprise round. Everyone roll initiative to fight Super Krampus.
That'll be a dirty 20.
That will be a 12.
20 on the die.
Well, in an inverse of previous, I have a 7.
Wow, Blasto, you go first.
Is this one still closed?
This one is still close. The gunfire that hit you was sort of an area effect, so it doesn't affect whether or not he knows where you are.
This one moves to around the Krogan, Krampus, to get behind him, to flank him, and attempt a sneak attack with his Omni Whip.
Make your attack, please.
22.
Roll damage.
Whip damage is 5 plus... No, just 5. And then the sneak attack damage is an additional 8.
Your whip lashes out, striking the arm holding the trigger mechanism of the gun, and you hear the Krogan roar and then laugh. But his booming laugh, his ho, 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 sounds a lot like the report of his massive gun. It's very disconcerting. Latana, it's your turn.
Everybody's within 2 meters, right?
I'm probably a little bit back of that.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay.
Well, as long as I have allies within 2 meters, that means I get advantage on attack.
I am definitely still within 2 meters of you.
That's the important thing. That's all I needed to know.
Great.
So I'm going to use my lance. I release a lance of energy at a creature within range. I make a ranged spell attack against the target. On a hit, the target takes force damage equal to 3d8 plus my spellcasting ability modifier.
Go for it.
Wow! That was a nat 1, so I guess I'll go fuck myself. It was a nat 1 twice.
Okay.
That dice is going to have to be burned now.
You throw a beam of energy and it goes wide. The Krogan sort of spinning with the weight and force of his gun and whiffing completely. He stares you down. You have another attack, right?
Yeah, and I'm going to try with the Nightshade Blades.
Okay.
So 12.
That's a hit. This is a big dude.
God.
This is a massive dude. Missing this guy would be difficult. So he rolled a Constitution save to not be poisoned, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Son of a bitch, he rolled a 1.
Yes!
He's got a +9 to Constitution. He had to roll a 2 and he would have been fine.
So he is now poisoned until he finishes a short rest.
Upset.
Disappointed.
Disadvantage on all of his fucking attacks. Upset.
Yes!
Son of a bitch.
I did something right!
You poisoned my big bad. I don't care. All right, fine. Good job. Do you want to move?
Well, first I have to deal my actual damage, which is 2d12.
You're allowed.
11 damage.
So almost like she's making up for the missed blast, she turns, fires a blade from her Omni tool, and hits square, dead center mass. And you watch the Krogan's veins turn an inky black as he coughs. And he shouts,
One poison was enough.
it is his turn. Yeah, isn't that exciting? He is going to rush at the Turian, one arm forward, almost like he already threw the punch and he's just throwing his weight behind it and allowing it to carry him. That is going to be with disadvantage. A 2.
That does not hit.
The other one was a natural 20.
Of course.
Well, I rolled a 2. It's like a 7, but still.
Well, my AC is 16, so.
Yeah, good job. He throws this giant punch and you just duck. It goes right over his head. For his second attack, he's going to grab his gun with both hands and physically swing it at you for a 15. Your AC is a 16, right?
Correct.
You leap over it in a beautiful dive roll as he swings wide, missing completely. And for his third attack, he's going to leave you entirely, continue to spin, and throw another punch at the other Krogan. That's going to be a 13 to hit.
I currently have an AC of 18.
And I'm going to say that you catch that off of your forearm in a beautiful boxer's parry. And that's going to be his turn. Krogan, go ahead.
All right. What I'm going to do now that I've caught his punch, I'm going to say, just for the sake of having arms that make sense for this, I caught it on my Omni Shield, so that way I can hit him with a biotic punch.
Excellent.
So let's see. That is a nat 1.
Oh no.
He deflects it with his own forearm in almost sort of a Wing Chun downward parry kind of way.
Yeah.
Do you have another attack?
No. Despite the fact that I am a Krogan, I am playing as a Sentinel, so I don't get an extra attack for a while.
All right, Solarian. There are two Krogans boxing each other.
Oh, gee, I wonder who I hit. Well, I better light them up. I'm going to activate, noting that they are engaged in melee, and I'm not particularly concerned about him firing down the hallway when he has three much closer combatants to deal with. I am going to forgo either the tear gas canister that I was planning on using or the hex shield that I was actually thinking about, and I'm going to use my stimulant pack.
Oh,
which is a bonus action that gives me a D4 to attack rolls for the remainder of combat.
Nice.
And then I am going to light him up.
I am going to fire off, and I'm going to use my adrenaline rush feature. So I'm going to attack twice, which is actually 4 attack actions.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to use sharpshooter on all 4 of them.
Holy mother of God. All right.
Jesus Christ, Case.
So well, that's a -5 on all my attack rolls. Countered by my +2 for my sniper fighter style and my +D4. All right, let's see how this goes, guys. All right, so it is...
Just roll all 4 attacks and tell me how many hit.
Does a 14 hit?
14 hits.
14 hits? Okay. I'm assuming a 9 misses.
9 just misses.
Okay. So, all right, so I only hit twice. 37 points of damage.
So the Solarian sniper fires 4 shots in rapid succession, and 2 of them land directly into the inside elbow of the Krogan's bionic arm. And you watch it fizzle and crackle, and when he rolls it back into a place, it's jittery, it's locked, it's weirdly disjointed. Top of the round.
This one goes again. I too. This one too is going to use his adrenaline rush, and this one will get an extra action, so that gives me 3 attacks as well. Unmoved, I will also use my cunning action to dash and do a cinematic dive as I fire off both of my M4 shurikens in 3 glorious attacks through the air.
One of those the first attack of this round does get sneak attack damage because he is in melee.
Excellent. So I will roll them individually then. So first attack is a 17 plus 5. That's 22.
Hits. Roll damage with sneak attack.
Okay, so that's 2d4 for the shurikens. That's a 4 and a 2 is 6. And the 2d6 is another 7.
Wow. All right.
And then the second attack is a 16.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another 2d4. And that's another 4 damage. And then the third attack is a 1 on the die.
Oof. So that goes wide. Okay. Are you going to move or are you good?
Since I did dive gloriously, let's say I hit the ground, and maybe I'll do an acrobatics check to see if I recover to my feet or stay on the ground.
Go for it.
Okay, the acrobatics check is a 21, so I roll gloriously back to my
beautiful.
I roll gloriously back to my feet with both guns in the face of the Krogan. This one is just getting started.
Air quotes around feet.
A Hanar doing a dive roll must sound like when it hits the ground like mac and cheese. Just whoosh. All right, Latana, what are you doing?
Is there anything in this room that I can potentially fling?
It looks like everything's bolted down.
Mm.
You might be able to lift up like a computer, like a monitor or something.
Does it weigh less than 20 pounds?
It does.
So I'm going to use my catapult, where I choose one object weighing from 1 to 10 kilos within range that isn't worn or being carried.
Yeah.
The object will fly in a straight line up to 30 meters in a direction I choose, which is at the Crumpus. If the object would strike a creature, the creature must make a dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, the object strikes the creature and stops moving. When the object strikes something, the object and what it strikes each take a 3d10 bludgeoning damage.
3d10?
Yep.
Wow. All right. Well, he's got a negative dexterity score, so that didn't go great for him. That hits. Roll 3d10 damage, please.
Excellent. That's a total of 19 damage.
Excellent. So you use your biotic power to grab a computer screen, launch it across the room, and it lands directly in his jaw. And as the computer shatters, that very corner of the computer is still embedded in the flesh and steel membrane of his mechanical face.
Oh, yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Yeah, I'd like to do another attack.
Go for it.
I'm going to charge. It's another dexterity saving throw.
Yep. I'm assuming a 7 doesn't make the cut.
No. So that's 7 plus 9, 16.
What a hit!
It also says the target becomes prone.
Yes, thank you.
So the Krogan drops, which is unfortunate because Palak is towering over him still. It is his turn. He's going to take an action to get up. Palak, that gives you an attack of opportunity.
Hell yeah.
So as he's getting up, I want to just punch down. Yeah, I just want to do a biotic punch down at him as he's coming up. Okay, so 14 total.
Hits.
Okay, damage is 6 total.
Okay. Lutana, you also get a attack of opportunity because
nice.
You're in melee range and he's getting up in front of you.
I'm just going to stab him, too. So 11.
Okay, that hits.
Great. So that's 1d8 slashing damage. 7.
Excellent. So you guys both knock him back down to the ground, but he does stand. And for his other action, for his movement, he's going to sort of drop his gun and lift up both of his arms in front of his face and take like a classic boxer's stance. Palak, it's your turn.
Okay, so what I want to do upon seeing him take this classic boxer stance is I'm going to drop my Omni Shield and use a bonus action to activate my tech armor, which doubles my health from what it currently is. And then I want to headbutt him.
Roll that headbutt attack.
That is a 13 to hit.
That hits.
I deal 6 as I headbutt him.
He recoils. Do you have another attack or anything else you can do?
No, I did my bonus action and I only get 1 attack, so that was it.
Great. It is the sniper's turn.
Excellent. Well, I'm going to fire off 3 shots at him then.
Go for it.
I am going to be using sharpshooter for all 3. All right, and so for the first one, I'm going to use a superiority dice to increase its total. So a 17.
Wow. Hits.
Hits. Next up, 23. So that's going to hit. And third shot, I'm also going to use a superiority dice to increase. So that puts that up to an 11.
Hits.
Okay. 53 points of damage.
Oh my god.
What? Damn.
What the absolute hell?
So I hit him 3 times using sharpshooter. Sharpshooter, I take a -5 to my attack roll and gain a +10 to my damage roll. And I hit him 3 times, and
So that's just a base damage of 30 before you roll any die.
Yes. Actually, more, but yes.
So with that in mind, I need Bearlock Palak to make a strength check, and I need Blasto to make an attack roll with your shuriken.
Okay.
Both at advantage. Bearlock, what is your strength check?
With advantage, it is a 21.
Blasto, what's your shot?
14 with advantage.
Poisoned by the Turian, the Krogan is railing and throwing and wailing his fists about, takes 3 rapid shots, and as he recoils from these bullets, our Krogan grabs him by the collar, launches him towards one of the porthole eyes, and Blasto fires his shuriken to the chest. The Mass Effect propelled bullets launching him against the window, through the window, and down out of our giant Krogan death machine, hurtling towards the dusty sands of Tachanka and towards the masses of those he tried to subjugate. You hear a thud as his body hits the ground, and the roars of the Krogan crowd. And in the backs of your mind, you all hear the voice of the Krogan people in your ear, or the localized population. And you hear, this is the meaning of Krogmas. Really good violence. Fade to black and credits.
As credits play, of course, Bogan Jath's popular hit single, Love is Just a Chemical Reaction, begins to play.
Wow.
I got like serious Three Musketeers vibes.
That was amazing. That is Reignite's Blasto Holiday Special, created lovingly by Josh Coslar, our DM. Thank you, Josh.
That was awesome.
That was really good.
Everybody
I
have a
felt
good
very
day.
useful.
Yeah, that was amazing.
It was definitely well designed. I would love, before we wrap up, and thank our usual thank yous, which I'm sure MJ will handle or Frankie will handle as she often does. I would like to give everyone playing a chance to introduce themselves, restate the character they played, and promote anything they want to promote, starting with Josh, our DM.
Hi, I'm Josh Coslar. I'm a theatrical advisor. I work for the Haberdashery and False Edge Armory. You can find both of those things on Facebook and the Instagram. Thanks for listening.
Next, Case Aiken, aka Bogan Jath.
I'm Case. I played Bogan Jath today, a Solarian sniper. It was a lot of fun being a cold-blooded crazy thing because why not? It was fun.
Anything to promote?
Oh yeah, of course. all the things I would promote are the things that you guys would promote because I'm part of the Certain POV podcast network. So I've got 3 shows on the network. We've got Men of Steel, Another Pass, and Scruffy Nerf Herders. If you like this kind of live role-playing game with a sci-fi setting, Scruffy Nerf Herders is that, but with Star Wars. So come check it out. It's a lot of fun.
Next, our incredible, handsome, and brilliant Krogan. Introduce yourself, your character,
Can
and
you stop
promote.
flirting with my husband on air?
No, never.
No one can see right now, so I'm just going to say wink. Hi, I'm John. I played Burlock Palak. That was a lot of fun. I super enjoyed getting to play a giant burly man because I don't get to do that in real life. My wife is glaring at me as I say that. So if you enjoyed my particular brand of irreverent ridiculousness, you can find me on a podcast that I do called Jenna Story. We agreed to do this. You can find that on any podcatcher that you might have access to, on Twitter at Jenna Story Pod, or on Facebook at Jenna Story Pod as well. That's it. That's all I got.
Awesome. Y'all know me and Frankie, aka MJ. So I think we'll just wrap up with our usual closing. MJ, would you like to take it away?
Yeah, sure. If you liked what you heard here, follow us on social media. We're at Reignite Pod on Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram, facebook.com/reignitepod, or you can send us an email at reignitepod@gmail.com. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe on your favorite podcatcher. It helps us get seen so other people can find us.
We're also members of the incredible Certain Point of View network. You can visit certainpov.com to find more nerdy podcasts, each with its own unique point of view. You can also find a permanent invite link to our Discord server so you can join in the conversation.
Matt and I work on some other projects. For example, I do Circle of Friendship, a podcast about the Circle of Magic books by Tamara Pierce. I also do the Rob Thomas, no, not that one, Robcast, where we discuss the works of Rob Thomas. No, not that one.
I do several shows on the network and off the network as well. Screen Snark, Fun and Games, and this very podcast you're listening to. I also do Crash Chords Autographs, which is an interview series that has recently, as of when this aired, had several different certain POV members as guests. And you can also find me streaming twitch.tv/DJ_Stormageddon.
There's so many thank yous that we have to hand out at the end of this. We are now closing up season 2. We'll be starting season 3 soon. So check that out in 2 weeks. I'd like to make sure that we give double, extra, triple thanks to Josh Coslar for coming up with the Blasto Holiday Special, to my lovely husband, John, to Case for joining our ridiculousness. Anytime we have an idea, he is down for it. I'd also like to thank my wonderful co-host, Matt Storm, for listening to anything that I have to say.
I also want to thank MJ, Frankie, Bradley, Lestrange. This podcast would not happen without you.
As usual, we'd like to thank Red Spinks for our It's Okay to Be a Marshmallow t-shirt on Redbubble, featuring our favorite marshmallow, Kaden Nolenko. You can find more of their work at Chaos Does Art on Instagram. We'd also like to thank Case Aiken for developing more amazing shirt designs that you can find through certainpov.com or on Teespring. And we'd like to thank David Boyle for designing our logo, which you can also get on a shirt through Redbubble. Finally, thank you to Dan Bull for letting us use the Mass Effect rap for our theme music. I'm MJ.
And I'm Matt, aka Stormageddon.
And I'm John.
And I'm Case.
And I'm Josh Coslar.
We should go.
No, seriously, we should go. I'm really not allowed on Tachanka. I need to go. They'll kill me if they find out I'm here.
You're technically not on Tachanka.
This one still has stuff. This one still has stuff to settle with you. You aren't going anywhere.
You're listening to Reignite. I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite podcast on the Citadel.
Wait, guys, does anyone want to help me give out presents? I think there's a lot of guns in this ship. We should give them for Krogmas.
Oh, I'll help.
Let me handle that. I'll make sure they go to the right place.
I don't. This one does not believe you.
No. They're going to the Krogan. They're going to the Krogan children, and you're not allowed on Tachanka. Someone find me a big red bag. I'm gonna be Krampus. Hey there, everybody. It's me, Burlak Palak. You might remember me from the Blasto Holiday Special. Now, a lot of people think the Krogmas is just about massive amounts of violence and giant guns. And I'm here to tell you that that's just not the case. Krogmas is about coming together as a community in the spirit of violence and giant guns. With that in mind, I'd like to sing you a song that I wrote called It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Krogmas. It's beginning to look a lot like Krogmas. Shotguns everywhere. Take a look at your thermal clip. It's hanging there from your hip. There's stronger in calling enemies to share. It's beginning to look a lot like Krogmas. Guns in every hand. But the prettiest sight to see is the battle that will be all across the land. A pair of magnetic boots and a pistol that shoots is the wish of Shepard and Rex. Scopes that'll zoom and make mech heads go boom is the hope of Lieutenant Rix. It's beginning to look a lot like Krogmas. Everywhere you go. There's a bomb on the Citadel, and one on Sarkesh as well. It's the massive kind that we are sure to blow. It's beginning to look a lot like Krogmas. Soon the fights will start. And the thing that'll help us win is the blood rage that we're in. We'll rip out your heart. It's beginning to look a lot like Krogmas. Guns in every hand. But the prettiest sight to see is the battle that will be all across the land. Won't Krogmas be grand? Thanks everyone for listening, and have yourselves a merry little Krogmas. Goodbye.
CPOV.
CertainPOV.com.